Good man, Carlos. Good evening.
Yes, my brother.
Hello, Mr. Amar. How are you, brother?
Right?
How you doing, man? Are you okay?
I'm okay, my brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, man. Thank you for the opportunity, brother. Thank you.
Oh, man. So glad. Look, Ricardo's here. And
Hey,
our
Ricardo,
official.
how you doing? You're right.
Hey, Rita. Hey,
Yeah,
Rita.
it's how's it going?
I think Rita will be the next one, Rita.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. How are you doing, Amar? How was your day today? Did you have a good day?
Yes, I did. Yeah, thank you. I just opened my fast about half an hour ago. To be honest, I'm still eating. Like, yeah, still got like a little bit custard here.
I was thinking about it. I said, I thought because of the sunset, and I thought maybe it wouldn't be enough time for you to eat. But I'm glad you managed
Yeah,
to get get
it's
some food
perfect.
there.
Oh yeah, thank you. How's your day been?
It's been good. Yeah, I did a light run today between the rain, just like
Yeah,
but not much. But it was good.
yeah.
It was a good day. It was a good day. Yeah.
The
Mixed
rain
up.
don't stop, eh? Like you have to keep working, man. That's it.
That's it. Yes. Otherwise, I'm just eating so much that if I don't train, then I'm gonna come back like ultra heavyweight when I come back, but just big belly like this. No
Uh,
matter.
right, it's right. You gotta enjoy this time, bro. Like it's a very hard time, but you have to enjoy it, you know.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. We have to see the positive of it. I believe we have to try to
Always, always, yeah.
make it make it work. And how are you doing any training? Okay.
You know, just before I open my fast, I don't do it every day, but I do every other day. So I would do like a maximum reps of push-ups, and then I'll do about 150 sit-ups, but different type of sit-ups, and then I'll do about 60, 70 squats, and then I will do about I think about 60 um, hyperextensions as well, just for your back. So I try to isolate the muscle, but still training little bit. Yeah, not too much. Yeah, because after now I open my fast for the next few hours, I can't really do much exercise because I'll just vomit. You know, it's too
That's,
heavy for
yeah, man.
me. Yeah.
And how does it feel to fast all day? Are you okay with that? Is it?
Yeah, so the fastest starts I think just before 4 o'clock, or yeah, roughly about 4 o'clock, and so can't really eat or drink until half eight. So it's from sunrise to sunset,
Yeah.
and this is probably the easiest it's been so far, just because what I do is obviously um, I stay awake through the night. I have my seri in the morning. So when we start the fast, we call it seri. So it's like when we start the fast, and then throughout the day, I would just mostly sleep, and then when I wake up, it's afternoon anyway, and then I only have like few hours, so I'll pray, and then yeah, stuff like that. That's about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because now, how are you working at the moment? Anna?
Yeah, well, the cab firm, we're still operating from home, but work is very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's not many people around, isn't it? I was running today, and all the parking space in the house, like all the cars, like were in. It's just like usually everybody's out, but then now it's everybody in the house. Most
Yeah,
of the people, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, the roads are very quiet. I mean, I still go out occasionally when I have to go shopping and whatnot, but yeah, the roads are very quiet, man. Yeah, yes, Ramon.
Ramon is there. Let's pray for him, and so is David Kimura is in there as well.
Uh-huh.
Uh, uh, And, and how is your diet when you're not fasting? Like normally, do you eat because we all know that you're very heavyweight. So how do you do to keep this physical? Like, do you usually eat a lot? Is it your metabolism that high?
Do you know what? Now that I'm not training, I don't feel as hungry. But before, when I was training, that's my sister-in-law. So yeah, that's my cousin as well. There, yeah. The little one is sleeping. Yeah, Asher, he's sleeping. But yeah, but now I'm not training. I'm not really eating as much. yeah, I don't know why. I just don't feel hungry, to be honest. But I'm not really doing a lot as well, so my body kind of just holds on to the food as well. So yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if I've lost weight. I haven't really checked my weight, and I don't really want to check my weight either, you know. Because if I feel like I'm going too heavy, then I'll start training and I'll start to cut down the food and stuff like that. Just because I like to keep it very stable. But right now,
yeah.
I'm just enjoying it. Yeah.
And how did you start to do martial arts? How did it happen?
So when I started, it was I used to do a little bit of weightlifting before. I done that for about a year or so, and then there was this guy who was actually doing like some shadow boxing in one of the gyms. So this was back in Mitcham. I was in school. Yeah, it was very long ago. Very long ago. I can't remember exactly how long, but I spoke to him and he said, yeah, there's a martial arts gym nearby, and then I went over there, and yeah, aside from boxing, I did a few months of that, and then after that, I kind of stopped. And then after that, one of my friends, he said, yeah, there's another gym in Croydon. That was Lions Pride. That was underneath Jimmy Manua, and
Uh,
they
uh,
yeah, he said it's a mixed martial arts gym. But I said, you know what, I just want to do boxing. I just done it for the fun of it, you know. And yeah, I did like the self defense idea as well, because even in school, I got into I wasn't really a bad boy, but I got into a lot of fights. You know, a lot of people would try to pick on me because when I was in school, in year 7 and 8, year 8 was probably the hardest for me because year 7 and year 8, I didn't really know much. I didn't know any English at all, and then because I came in this country in year 5 I came in this country, and then when I came, I didn't really know any English at all, and English is like my third language, so it was just trying to pick it up and stuff like that. But in year 7 and 8, yeah, people just tried to pick on me, but I always kind of stood my ground, you know. So I had quite a few fights, and then I thought, you know what, boxing would be good, you know, it would be a good self-defense as well. And then
yeah.
anyway, yeah, man, just found my way to Jimmy Manua's, and yeah, it was.
It's too badly speak. It's just that they probably we have to put subtitles today because my English is worse than yours. So probably we have to put subtitles today.
So that, man. They're just hating, Andre. That's all it is.
They still bully you. They still bully you.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
got stronger now, but they still bully you.
Uh-huh,
How did
uh-huh.
you find number four, Sammy? How did you find number four?
So I was training with Jimmy Manua for about I think about 6 7 months, and then I was in college at that time. And then what happened was I finished college, and my parents told me, you know what, you either have to because I didn't really know what I wanted to do was originally I wanted to go in the Royal Marines, and then what my plan was, you know what, by the time that I finish college, I would have had applied for the Marines or the police, and I would have had kind of a stable job, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, I decided it like a criminal conviction, and I applied for it, and you know they rejected me. They said, yeah, you have to wait 5 years and whatnot. And then I wasn't really too sure what to do with my life, and at the same time, I was training martial arts, and you know what? I thought to myself, I really enjoy this, and I really like this. So you know, I'm gonna do this. But when I told my parents, you know, this is what I want to do, they said, nah, that's not really happening. And they said you can either work or you can continue your education. So what I did was I moved out to uni, and when I moved out to uni, there was another club that I was training at the same time. So what my plan was, you know, just go out to uni, and you know, just focus on my training at the same time. You know, just for the sake of my parents, you know, I can just go into uni. You know, that will keep them happy and it will keep me happy as well. Yeah. But when I went to that gym, um, wasn't really what I expected, you know, because at Lions Pride, the quality of the fighters, it was very good, very, very good. And then when I went to other gym, you know, I see, you know what, they're not really that good. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I thought, you know what, it's going to take me a lot longer for me to actually pursue my dream. So what happened was that time I went into uni for 3 months, and in December, I thought, you know what, this is not for me. Rather than me wasting more time here, I'm just gonna step away from this, and I'm just gonna go back home, and yeah, I'm just gonna pursue my dream. And at that time, we used to live in Morden before, and from there we had moved to New Morden. And when we moved to New Morden, I think there was some difficulties with Lions Pride. I think it was just towards closing times, because now it's closed.
Yeah,
Before that time it was just closing. But from New Morden to Croydon is really far as well. And then I knew Jimmy used to train at what's it called, Noah Force as well. So I
yeah.
thought, yeah, I wanted to go there as well, but I never really got the chance. So when I came back and moved to New Morden, it was just it's just a perfect time as well.
Yeah, Ibran just joined there, so be careful. His comments yesterday. If you were having bully up to now, be ready for Ibran now. Ibran gonna give
Mate, look,
proper bully.
everyone bullies me. Ibro's not the only one, man.
This morning I was watching the live from yesterday from Jake, just to do the download for to put it on the YouTube, and then I was reading Ibran's comment, and I was like just laughing my head off. He was
Yeah, yeah. It's mostly the family, for me. Like, mate, I got roasted all the time. Yeah.
he gonna come next week, so he gonna have his turn next week, Ibran. So what we gonna
Oh
do is
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to block the comments, otherwise people gonna pay him back very heavily.
Yep. It's always like that, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Man. And the MMA, when was your debut? When you did your first fight?
So I believe I started training, I think 2015 or 2016. I think 2016. And then after about four months, June, July, yeah, I just I spoke to Rick, and I was when I started and when I had left everything, I came to the gym, and I was training like every day, just straight from the start, because I knew this is what I wanted. So I've always kind of gave my 100%, all the time. I give my 100%. So I spoke to Rick, and he said, yeah, we can get you a fight. So yeah, I think it was like, yeah, a few months into training, and yeah, just start from there. That's it. And I try to stay consistent with it.
And how different is the MMA, the cage, from the street fight when you fight on the street?
You know what? It is different. It is different. Yeah, because street is just like it lasts like 30 seconds. It doesn't last too long. Yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, a few punches, and everybody jumps in, or you throw like 1, 2 punches, and everybody just kind of pulls everyone away, and yeah, that's it. But inside the cage, you can just kind of be yourself. You can just do whatever you want. Especially now with the pros, the gloves are smaller as well. I like that, and you can use elbows, and you can play around with a lot more, and the rounds are longer as well. I prefer the 5-minute rounds than the 3-minute, because you can just kind of take your time and just get used to it and just have fun in there.
Yeah, we have a question about that as well. Some ask, what what's the next fight coming for you? Who flyweight guy that you would like to face?
You know what? Ideally, it should be my next one, yeah. If it's okay with Rick, and if everything goes according to plan, it should be either for the fusion title, or it should be another one similar to that. If obviously the other guy, I know the guy, I forgot his name, but yeah, it's the champion of
Yeah,
lightweight. He's
Lisa,
an Italian guy.
Lisa
Yeah.
would be there, but I don't think she's suggesting you to fight Lee, because Lee is an Iron Man, so he's probably gonna have some iron
I
fist
don't
that,
really want to fight Lee, man.
that will be tricky, man. And when you're doing the fighting, do you prefer jiu-jitsu or the boxing? Which one do you think it's more like a smashing the guy or submission?
Do you know what? I like it round. I don't really mind the stand up, and I don't really mind the ground as well. So yeah, I just kind of I try to make sure that I'm well rounded. Yeah, but this quarantine, this lockdown, I've just been focusing a lot more on the mindset and on the psychology of fighting, because a lot of the fighters, they tend to we tend to, especially when we're training, we don't really get too much time outside of training, especially when you're training twice a day and then you have to go into work and whatnot. You don't really get too much time, just to focus on the mind, or just take some time out just to watch fights and just to break everything down. That's what I've been doing slowly, and I'm just trying to get to know myself a lot more, how I think, how I work, and where I'm good and whatnot. Those things, yeah.
And if you had to make a choice, there's a question someone said as well. If you had to make a choice to be the best boxing fighter or the best jiu-jitsu fighter, which one would you go?
MMA, man, MMA. So, but I like jiu-jitsu and I like boxing as well. But I think when you compete in jiu-jitsu, I think you can get a lot more injuries, so a lot more severe injuries. And I think in boxing, when you do compete, you don't get as severe injuries. Do you know what I mean? So let's say if you compete in jiu-jitsu, and let's say if someone armbars you and you don't tap, or they can break your arm, and that means you can be out for a very long time. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I know with the boxing, it's not as severe as jiu-jitsu. That's
Yeah.
the thing, yeah.
And we had the question there before, and this question I want to ask you too. When you gonna come to the grading so you can get your belt? Because if you wear that white belt there, you just make us feel embarrassed when you come in and do all
No,
the fish moving moves, you know?
next time, God willing. But you know what? With the grading, I haven't really. I've wanted to. Last one I wanted to as well, but it's like sometimes I just feel that I'm not really ready for it, man. I still feel like what. I'm just at the start of my game. I'm just starting up, and I still feel like I have so much to learn. So much to learn.
Definitely, yeah. We all need to learn, but you need to come because otherwise, when you come with your white belt and then you just show all the moves there, just like, oh my goodness. Someone new comes and then see you as a white belt, they're gonna feel like, whoa, what I've been doing up to now. This guy's a white belt. It's like a slippery fish after a bath of soap. Whatever we squeeze you, you just like come up to the other side. They,
Yeah, I would be probably a solid blue belt, I think, right now. But yeah, I definitely think, yeah, it is about time that I get my blue belt. And you know what? When I do get my blue belt, it's going to kind of I would start focusing a lot more on my lower body. So going for like knee bars and a lot more heel hooks and stuff like that. That's what I would focus on. Right now I'm a lot more focusing on the upper body, but that means that what, half of the body we kind of just forget about it. As a white belt, you don't really go for knee bars and stuff like that. But yeah, when I do get my blue belt, then I'll start focusing a lot more on yeah, just the knee bars and heel hooks and stuff like that. That's what I'm
yeah,
gonna work.
yeah, but I think the knee bars will be more like from the brown. So don't worry, don't be too humble. The,
Oh,
the big boss is listening to you, so the big boss
I
is
didn't
listening
know
to you.
that one.
Don't be too
No, I
humble.
thought it
So he
was
knows
yeah.
better. And which one is your favorite sparring there at the gym on the MMA that you do? Who's
With the MMA or jiu-jitsu.
both one of each? It's just MMA
Uh,
and one jiu-jitsu.
so for jiu-jitsu, it would I'd say Todd. Todd is very good. He's similar size and he's very skillful as well. So I,
He,
I do I do like to spar with Todd. Yeah. With MMA, it's a bit difficult. Do you know what? I don't really. Um, I'm trying to find someone. Dennis, I would think Dennis will be good. Not Justin, no. Yeah, I'd say Dennis will be definitely a good prospect. Yeah, because he's similar. He's same weight as me as well. Same. So yeah, definitely Dennis, and very good as well.
he's very fast. Yeah, he's very good, man. He's
Yeah.
probably not here because his bedtime already passed, but he's he's amazing, and I want you. We're gonna do an early one so Dennis can join us because he's He's very good, man. And he's been training a lot. I saw some of his videos on Instagram. He's keeping up with all the training, like a lot of shadow
Yeah,
boxing and things like that.
yeah, yeah.
And,
What? Sorry, go on.
no, go for it, man.
Yeah, so one day this was like, I think just a few weeks ago, not too long ago, yeah, I was just jogging and I actually came across Dennis, on the street. And, I think we don't live too far apart now as well. I've recently moved and yeah, man, so it was good. We just went together. But yeah, Dennis is always training. He's always running about, man. Yeah, very active. Yeah.
He's very determined, yeah, man. And what about between the gi and no gi? Which one do you think it's? I know you don't train gi too much, but you like the gi stuff.
Yeah, I do like gi. I used to do a lot more gi, but for some reason, every time that I was doing gi, I was picking some more injuries, especially with my shoulders and my elbows. But I think maybe the reason why is because when I do get armbarred, it's not much that I can move around because with the gi, every technique is very isolated, and there's not a lot of room for you to move around. But when I train nogi, I'm able to move around and slip in and out. But what's that done? Yeah, for my style, when I'm training nogi, it's kind of just helped it a lot more. I'm able to just kind of slip in and out, and you know what? Now I've kind of um, gauged how the body kind of moves. Where you can kind of rotate and how you can kind of just rotate the wrist and whatnot, just to kind of just escape from the arm bars and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And our Wednesday lunchtime class is my favorite, man. That's the Wednesday lunchtime class is the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
really like
Definitely.
that one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one. If I can do that one in a week, I just like that's my aim to do the Wednesday lunchtime one. It's so good, man. And how do you deal with the emotions before the fight, Amar?
Um, I think you know what it's more harder for the people around us, isn't it? Especially because like I live with family and stuff like that. So yeah, it's probably harder for them to deal with my emotions. But for me, I just try to focus on the fight, and it does get very hard, especially with the diet and stuff like that. But yeah, man, just try to hold them much as you can because sometimes I feel that what I can get a bit too aggressive and I have to kind of hold myself back. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, it is very difficult, especially the fight week. You know, I yeah, because you're not really training, you can't really go too hard either. And you're just kind of relaxing. But I enjoy the whole fight camp. Yeah, the fight week is probably my favorite
is
because yeah, you don't really get too you don't get hit as much, and you're just moving around very lightly. And before that, like 2 3 weeks before the fight, oh mate, it's very hard. Yeah, everyone trying to beat you up, and oh my goodness, go hard, hard, hard. Yeah, it's very tough. Yeah.
I take my hat off for you guys because this punching and kicking is just like whoa, man. It's very
It,
MMA. It's full on. It's full on. What's
it,
your favorite part of the training, Omar? What do you like most? We had up warm up training, specific sparring. We had sparring. What would be yours?
I think
Technique, really?
I think I'd say sparring like most of the fighters, isn't it? Everybody loves to spar, isn't it?
That's it. The specific sparring is cool as well, isn't it? When I like the specific sparring as well. Some
Yeah, yeah.
good
Uh,
one.
it gives you
Yeah,
something to work on, and um, it helps your defense a lot. Just because sometimes you don't end up in that position, but when you're specifically sparring in from a certain position, then you can just work on that position, and yeah, you can just yeah, kind of just upgrade your
that's
knowledge.
was was like on your last fight, and the guy got you on the Kimura, and then I thought, oh, this guy gonna be there all night, and he won't gonna get. He's just going to the wrong path because the guy's flexible. He doesn't have joints. He got you in the He tried to put the Kimura on you, and I was like, oh no, he's wasting his energy there. We weren't gonna be able to do anything. And then we had someone that asked here, Marcus sent a question. He said, if you do yoga or if you do, what do you do so you're so flexible? What do you do to make you so flexible?
I think you know what. I think it's a bit more natural, to be honest. I don't know why, but yeah, it is more natural that I'm flexible. But yeah, I do. I've started to do a lot more yoga recently. I think for the past year, I've started to do a little bit more. You know, and just add it to my training. And yoga is very good for the mindset, especially. I try to when I do yoga, it's a lot more meditation for me. You know, that's the reason why I do it. Yeah, and obviously it does strengthen your small muscles like the muscles in your wrist, the muscles in your knees and stuff like that, you know, just the joints. It really yoga really strengthens your joints. Yes, sir, bro.
He's taking easy on you. Yesterday he was taking hard. He's just like he really. I think because now we have booked him for next week, so now he's very like cautious now. Don't worry about. On your last fight, Amar, you were taking like CBD, wasn't it? Is it CBD? That,
Yes, CBD oil, yeah.
do you think it works? So what's your review about it?
So for me, this is personal experience, yeah. When I use a CBD oil, I think my sleep is a little bit deeper and I can sleep just a little bit longer. I tend to, you know, I don't know why that is, but yeah, but you have to kind of get the right strength that works with your body, because there's a different ones that work with yeah, some are like I think 500 ml. I've tried the 1,000 ml. That one's quite good as well, yeah.
Oh, good man.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if it helps too much. I think it just kind of relaxes your body, and you know, just helps you kind of just yeah, just that's what I think, yeah.
and who is your favorite fighter, Amar? Who is the fighter you look up to?
You know what? I would say Muhammad Ali as a person, you know, just because what he's done outside of the ring. Yeah, I really admire him. Yeah, because him outside of the ring, he was a person that really wanted to help other people. Yeah, 10. Yeah, so Muhammad Ali definitely, yeah. And you know, I think as we as us athletes, we should try to. There are a lot of people that look up to us. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, we could be just starting up, or you know, we could be on top of the world. But there's always someone that's looking up to us. You know, so if you can even make a difference to even one person, you have to know that you know what, it's not just one person. It's like a whole generation. You know, that one person is a whole generation. You know, so yeah, I try to help out many people as I can, to be honest, and you know, yeah.
That's it,
But
man. Yeah,
otherwise, in terms of fighting, it would be John Jones. John
John,
Jones would be one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really
uh,
like him. You know.
that's it.
Man,
Well, Ten is on the list, of course, man. He's a legend.
yeah,
Between
it's
Khabib and McGregor, which one you would go for? Like the calm one or the one that talks the trash talking? Which one you would?
a bit of both. You know, I've learned a lot from McGregor, especially when so I've followed McGregor when he was very early in when he made his UFC debut. You know, I started to follow him since then. But yeah, I've known McGregor longer than I've known Khabib. Khabib, I think he came recently more into the spotlight. But yeah, for me, I've kind of just picked up from both of the fighters, to be honest. But yeah, right now, as a person, I'd say Khabib. Yeah, because he's a lot more humble, and you know, he just yeah, and he's a Muslim as well. So you know, obviously, I respect that. And as a Muslim, he's promoting Islam as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, and from your fights, which one was the one you like most? Which one was your favorite fight?
Mm, the one I like most.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a bit hard one, but you know what? I think it would be the one I lost. The one I lost, yeah.
You like
That one, yeah. I've only lost one fight. That was to Sam Green, yeah. and that was probably the one I liked the most because it taught me a lot of lessons, and it was very, very hard, Andre, for me to lose, but I'm glad it happened. That was my one, yeah.
Yeah, man. But that's it. That's something good that you said. We learn from the loss, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Never.
always, always, my brother, always, yeah.
Yeah. And I know you love cars, so tell us a little bit about your love for cars, man. But tell how many cars do you have? You have like so many cars. It's just like we just had a question here about it. We just like which car do you have at the moment?
Right now I've got the E-Class, yeah. That's stuck at Mercedes, man. So I'm very gutted because that's it's the new one. I think it's the 2018 one, and man, that car is very, very beautiful. I haven't really shown anyone, to be honest. They all stole it. I steal it from this guy, man. But yeah, that's the one I got. But yeah, my favorite one would be R8, Audi R8, and you know what, inshallah, God willing, in the next about a year or 2 years, I'll definitely have that one, And yeah, with the cars, Andre, I make good money from them, but I've made a lot of losses as well from the cars. But yeah, it's something that I have a passion for. And my first car I brought for £500. I brought that car for £500, yeah. And that was how much I had that time. I went about, I think, about 78 miles, and yeah, I drove it back. And yeah, after about 4 weeks, I sold that car for £800. And after that, I thought, it's good money in it, so make some money from it. Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. Then you just be now you just like multiply your 500 pounds like thousands of times now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's slowly, slowly, because you know what, I do make the profit, but I don't really I don't use the profit. I always invest it back in cars. That's why I'm always having like a better one, better one. But see, with the cars, you have to be very careful because sometimes you can lose money from it as well. But
Uh,
yeah, when how I do it is when I buy a car, I make sure that I can make back the money, and I make sure that even if I keep it for about 3, 4 months or 6 months or 1 year, even though the mileage is gonna go up, I make sure that I don't lose the value of the car. So even when I sell it, I have to kind of just sell it at the same price. Otherwise, I'll try to sell it at a profit. Yeah.
yes, man. When I buy my next car, I know who are gonna be calling for advice, man.
Anytime, my brother. Anytime. Anytime. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Anytime.
where the name Punisher came from, the nickname Punisher. Who gave you this?
Punisher.
Yeah,
So I gave this to myself, to be honest. No one gave this to me, yeah. And why I say that is because I have a lot of aggression. I don't show it. I try to be nice. I try to be good, but deep inside, Andre, I have a lot of aggression, and I have sometimes I struggle to control it. And yeah, sometimes it comes out, and but see, with the fighting, it's perfect for me because if I wasn't fighting, I would probably get myself into a lot of trouble, outside and whatnot. But fighting, I just have to release my energy all the time, just sparring, sparring, sparring. And
yeah.
yeah, yeah, with the Punisher, why I say Punisher, because when I'm inside that cage, I think of all the things that's happened to me, and I like to hurt the person. It might sound bad, but I do like to hurt the person, and it just kind of it's a nice feeling when you get the win, isn't it? And it is a very, very nice feeling. Yeah, just punching someone in the face. You can't do it in training. Honestly, I always have to hold back in training. I don't really go full out. Never, never will I go full out. Unless we both agree to it, then it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, when you're in there, my goal is to hurt them as much as you can. Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
goal. But yeah,
We were talking with Mr. Intensas of jobs, and he said the same thing. You have to come go there like with intensity, otherwise the other guy will kill you. It's like two lions in the cage. And
yeah.
Jake sent you a question as well. Jake sent you the question, and he said, "Would you rather have be the best jiu-jitsu in the world or 2 million pounds?"
Jiu-Jitsu, man. Jiu-Jitsu. If I'm the best Jiu-Jitsu, man, I'll make 2 million very easy. Very
Uh,
easy. Very easy. Yeah. 2 million is not a lot, Andre. I'm
that's a
telling
good
you,
point.
2 million pounds is not a lot.
That's a good point. And Dave Kimura sent a question as well. If you're gonna be the first Asian on UFC, why do they don't have many Asians on the MMA high level?
Do
So
you know what? Yeah, Andre, this is very sad thing. Yeah, but as us as especially as Pakistanis, our parents they always want us to go into like engineering or doctors or anything like that. You know, even when I started for myself, a lot of people said, "No, why are you doing this? You know, you should not be doing this. You're wasting your life away. This is that." But you know what? I said to myself and I said to everyone, you know what? I'm gonna prove you wrong, and I will prove everybody wrong. You know. And yeah, I always have that thought in my head, and I'll never forget it. You know what? I will show them that it can be done, and I'll definitely show the next generation that you know what they can be whoever they want to be. You don't have to follow what your what your parents followed and whatnot, because times have changed. You know, nowadays with the internet, and when we come into this country, there's so many opportunities, Andre. We can do whatever we want. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I think it's mostly the parents. They don't really encourage their children enough to pursue their dreams. They don't really give them the support, you know. And it is very sad that you know sometimes we have to follow other people's dreams rather than ours. But when you follow your own dream, you have to be very self-sufficient. You know, you have to rely on yourself, and it does get very lonely sometimes. But oh, sorry, I had a call. Yeah, this is where greatness comes in. You know, you have to rely on yourself. But yeah,
yeah,
man, that's it, Andre. Like the Asian community, they don't really support too many people that follow the dream. That's why I believe that there's not a lot of champions. But slowly, slowly, I think the times are changing, and there's a lot more Asian fighters that are coming up. So
yeah.
I'm glad to see them. Yeah, yeah. I've
Uh,
always honestly, I know how hard everybody works. You know, especially us Asians. We come from nothing. I come from nothing. You know, Andre, I come from a village, man. I had nothing. You know, so in here I want to have everything, Andre. But the way to get there is through hard work, man. No other way. Only
no other
hard
way.
work.
Yeah,
Only
well,
hard work, man.
being an engineer or doing whatever you decide to go, you have to work hard. But I see the way that the parents, your parents or the other parents, they look as well. I think because for them it's something that there's a big value, the education also, isn't it? So it's just,
Yeah, yeah. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. You know, you
yeah,
can be a fighter, sorry, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, and it's a very stable career. You know, you
uh,
will make
the
you will
two,
make good money and you will sort your family out. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not really that you're going to be happy. You know, you can't guarantee you'll be happy. So, but for me, happiness is always prioritized. You know, I'll always choose to do what I love to do, and you know, by the grace of God, I make good money. You know, I love my cars, and you know, God has blessed me with the talent, you know, of fighting, and you know, I make money. I make money from it, and yeah, man. As
then
long as it pays the bills and we're happy, that's all we can want from life, isn't it, Andre?
you're gonna be on top, man. You're gonna be on top. You're a great guy, and you work
God,
super hard. So that's the main
God,
thing.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's the and when if you have to go, have you ever thought about to go abroad, to go somewhere to do a camp to train, or do you have any place that you was wondering like to go to do a training camp? Like a lot of people,
Um,
Thailand, go to Brazil, go to don't know. Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely like to go to Thailand, Brazil, and Russia. These are my three places that I want to go to, you know. Brazil for
Yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu, Thailand for, you know, obviously Muay Thai, and then obviously Russia just for the wrestling and some Sambo, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, good, yeah, man, good. And the one last question.
Of course, yeah.
So, do you have a double joint elbow?
I, I don't know what that is, but you know what? My
Your elbow bent to the other way
yo,
around, like
I think you know what a lot of people one thing that really helps me is you know when people get me in submission I don't really I'm not scared to be tapped, you know. I keep my muscles very relaxed. You know, when you tense up, your muscles, they cannot, they, they tend to stretch less. But when you keep your arms relaxed, or when you keep your muscle relaxed, they can stretch a little bit more. And, you know, it's sometimes you only need a little bit more of extension of a muscle for you to even get out that submission. So that's one thing, you know, that's
Yeah,
helpful. Yeah.
good man. And what would be your message to the Nova Força family, Amar? Give your final words for us there, man.
You know what? I miss everyone. Honestly, I can say this from the bottom of my heart. I miss everyone. And Andre, man, I want to say thank you. And I think I say it on behalf of everyone, on behalf of every Nova Forza family, every Nova Forza person, sorry. Thank you for doing this, Andre. And you know, it's because of you that we are obviously here to speak to each other and whatnot. You know, obviously we do have the groups, but we don't really interact like this, you know. So it's nice that you're able to do this, and you know, we're able to speak to each other, man. But yeah, man,
Thank you,
love
man.
everybody. Yeah, you know, that's like my family, honestly, man. Honestly, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's nothing more, because I spend just as much as time at home, and as I spend just as much as time at gym, you know. And most of the time I'm on the road as well, driving here and there. So yeah.
No, miss you. We do miss you, Amar. We do miss you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you for this opportunity,
You're
Andre.
a
Thank
brother. You know that, and
you.
it's
Yeah,
a
thank
joy
you very
to
much,
be able
man.
to
Thank
train
you.
with you. And I'm looking
One
forward.
day, I'll be a celebrity. Not yet, not yet, but very soon I will be.
For sure, man. You already celebrated us, man. You're celebrating your life already, man.
You, my brother. Thank you, man.
I'm
I
looking
hope
forward to our lunchtime, Wednesday lunchtime there. It's like
for
it's
you.
my
Don't
favorite.
worry. When I come back, I'll bring everyone some chocolates, man.
Good.
Everybody, yeah, trust me. Bring nice, you know what? Not even chocolates. I'll bring some nice Asian sweets. You know, that's it.
Yeah. We're gonna hold you on that.
I will, man. Don't worry. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
very
Thank
much,
you,
Andre.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rick. Thank you,
Thank you, Rick.
Amar. Thank you
Take
so
care of
much
yourself, Rita. Yeah.
for it, man.
Good to hear from everybody, man. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Have a
Andre. Bye
lovely
bye.
day.
Bye. Love, man. Oh, thank you all.
Thank you so much. Lovely evening, everybody.